face systemic barriers, limited access to land and natural common goods, exclusion for policy and decision making, lack of financing, and under recognition of our knowledge and leadership. These injustices are not only just, they also weaken biodiversity outcomes. This is why the coming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework places gender equality at the center of the implementation. Through Target 23, parties committed to ensuring that all women and girls have equal opportunity and capacity to contribute to biodiversity action, including throughout their full, equitable, and meaningful participation and leadership. To support this commitment, parties also adopted back then in 2022 the CBD Gender Plan of Action 2023-2030, the main instrument to advance gender responsive implementation of the framework. However, commitments alone are not enough. The real question we must ask is, how do we translate global commitments into concrete change on the ground? Allow me to highlight three priorities from the perspective of women organizations working on biodiversity worldwide. First, institutionalizing women's leadership in biodiversity governance. Women must not only be invited to participate, we, must be supported to lead. This requires strengthening national mechanisms such as gender and biodiversity focal points, supporting women's organizations as strategic partners in implementation, and ensuring that decision-making spaces from local to global levels are genuinely inclusive. Second, ensuring gender-responsive biodiversity finance. Implementation of the Global Biodiversity Framework requires mobilizing significant financial resources, but financial is not neutral. If poorly designed, financial mechanisms can reinforce inequalities or even displace communities. We therefore need biodiversity finance that is accessible, accountable, and gender responsive, including direct support for women-led initiatives and community-based conservation efforts. Investing in women's leadership is not only a matter of justice, it is also one of the most effective investments for biodiversity protection and sustainable development. Third, strengthening data monitoring and accountability. Gender equality cannot be achieved if it's not measured. This means integrating gender disaggregated data, gender-sensitive indicators, and community-generated evidence into national biodiversity strategies and reporting systems. Without this, women's contributions remain invisible and progress cannot be tracked. Excellencies, the Commission on the Status of Women provides a critical platform to strengthen the links between gender equality and environmental action. The commitments made here must resonate across other multilateral processes, including the Convention on Biological Diversity. As we look ahead to CBD COP17 in Armenia, we see a key opportunity to accelerate gender-responsive implementation of the Global Biodiversity Framework, strengthen the Gender Plan of Action, and ensure that women's voices, particularly those from indigenous peoples and local communities, Afro-descendants also, shape decisions about the future of nature. And now women, we are not merely beneficiaries of the biodiversity policy. We are leaders, knowledge holders, and agents of transformative change. The CBD Women's Caucus stands ready to collaborate with governments, UN agencies, intergovernmental organizations, funders, and partners to advance gender-responsive biodiversity action and support the implementation of the Global Biodiversity Framework. And to the representatives of women organizations present in the room today, we warmly invite you to connect with and join the CBD Women